Hey everyone, Painful Maths here. Today's video is basically about something I've been thinking about recently, and it's about the God debate and how epistemology relates to this. More precisely, is the God debate really just a disagreement about epistemic justification? So for those of you who don't know, roughly, epistemology is a branch of philosophy that deals with what knowledge is and how we gain knowledge, how do we know if we have knowledge of something, things of these sorts. So I'll start with an example to illustrate what I'm talking about. So suppose Bob is sitting in his kitchen and his wife is in another room and yells out to him, "Hey, do you know where my car keys are?" Now Bob is sitting at the kitchen table and the keys are right in front of him on the kitchen table. So if a skeptic were also in the room and points out to him that a demon could be deceiving his brain and he doesn't actually know the car keys are right there with 100% certainty, Bob might start to wonder, oh, do I really know if the car keys are there or not? So now if he yells out, no, I don't know where the car keys are, and his wife later finds out that the car keys were sitting right in front of him, his wife is going to be sort of upset because his wife is going to say, you knew exactly where my car keys are. Why did you tell me you didn't know where they are? So let's examine what happens here. The skeptic and the wife confront each other, and the skeptic says he did not know where the car keys are. And his wife says he did know where the car keys are. In this situation, both are correct. It's just that one side is holding a different level of epistemic justification than the other side. One side has a much stricter criterion for what counts as justification, and the other side has a less strict criterion for what counts as justification. So if we don't have a common ground for what we mean by justification, then justification for having a belief, then we can argue at each other all we want, but both sides are going to be correct about what they're saying, and they're both going to feel like they're arguing about something. So this is sort of the point of this post, is I want to get out there and see what people's epistemic justifications are. So I want to hear from both theists and atheists, and I want to know if we can get to some common ground before continuing this debate, because the debate is sort of pointless if we don't have common ground on what we mean by justification. So maybe I should quickly share my take on this. I could probably do a huge video series on this, so I'm just going to do a quick summary. So Sam Harris sort of addresses this point in his book, The End of Faith. He knows that we have to have some common ground before he even starts talking about his arguments. And I think his approach is very good for this debate. He wants to take a common sense, common language type of approach. So he looks at how we actually use the word know and knowledge and things of these sorts. And one of his, I think this might be his example, I can't remember now though. An example would be when you wake up in the morning and you look off the side of your bed, your brain could be deceiving you and there could actually be a cliff there. But you know with enough certainty, with 99.99999% certainty that because every other time you've ever hopped off your bed, the floor has been there, you have good reason for this, for having this level of certainty. You can say you know that the floor is there and with no problem hop off the bed without being afraid. And so if we just take a common language approach to this problem and look at how we actually use these words, we don't require this skeptical 100% certainty. If we are certain beyond any reasonable doubt of something, then we can basically say that we know that thing. And I'm saying for this debate, this is not my take on epistemology in general. So the other one is the Russell teapot. So this is sort of the opposite of the skeptic, right? Of the keys example. In the keys example, the skeptic wanted 100% certainty before saying something existed. The teapot is saying, do we need 100% certainty before we can say something doesn't exist? And I think we all know it. Is there a teapot floating around? I don't know. Pick your favorite planet. Saturn. Say, can we say that we know there is no teapot floating around Saturn? Well, this is sort of where the God debate comes in, right? We can't say, the skeptic would say, we cannot say with 100% certainty that there is no teapot. But in the way that we use the word knowledge in general, and what we count as justification for having knowledge of something in general, would be to say, we have 99.99999% certainty that there is no teapot. So for all intents and purposes, there is no teapot. We can say we know that there is no teapot. And so this is my approach to this. I do not hold theists responsible to give me 100% proof. I probably don't even need 5% proof. I just need some tiny little piece of evidence that is actual evidence for the existence of God for me to concede the point that God might exist. At least get me on that fence. But as of right now, there is no justification that I've ever heard that actually is justification. But okay, so now I've gotten way off topic. Let's go back. Let's just recap what the actual point of this video was. What do you count as justification? And maybe you could give a little bit more if you know about epistemological theories. Maybe talk a little bit more about how the one you subscribe to relates to this, and talk about how we can get on some common ground before bringing this debate any further.